Okay, I wanted to come on and answer this question because I get it a lot in one form or another, and essentially it is, what's the best therapy and what's the best therapy for me? And just an easy answer to that is all types of healing, all types of therapy, all types of, you know, whatever it is, you know, whatever method, whatever modality it is that resonates with you the most, that feels right for you, that's the right one for you. That's my short answer to that. It's what Bashar would call a permission slip. What I would say about my clients, so, you know, the things that I do are different for everybody. So, you know, I do neuro-linguistic programming, somatics, breath work, timeline therapy, you know, all sorts of things, generational trauma practices, you know, so many things. And what I would say is that every single one of my clients is unique, and no one healing journey looks the same, and everybody is completely different. Now, I'm totally biased because I am about the whole person, as in HOLE, holistic, is addressing the whole person. So I'm a big advocate for it's not just about your mind, it's your mind and it's your body and it's your soul, and in a lot of cases it's your connection with the earth and the land and nature. So it can be all of those things, and for some of my clients they're not that way inclined, you know. So it's just every single journey towards healing is completely different for everyone. Now, what I will say about traditional talk therapy is there's been lots of studies done, and I think that a lot of them are coming to pretty much the same conclusion, that it really only works in about a third of cases. And the reason for that is essentially, and I'm only talking really just based off what I've read, but also anecdotally from my clients, and I know from my experience with traditional talk therapy, is that it does build a codependent relationship between the client and the therapist. And quite often you'll go to counseling and they'll say, oh, it's going to be a long journey, it's going to be a hard journey, it's going to be really tough on you, you're going to have to go, you know, really put in some work. And I actually don't believe that's true anymore. And I have a lot of people who come to me who realize very quickly that that doesn't have to be the case. However, it does work really well for a lot of people. And so if that's a permission slip for you, then absolutely that's what you should continue to do. You know, there's so many different types of therapy. There's, you know, there's spinal, is it spinal something or other therapy? I've forgotten what it is now. You know, there's Reiki, there is cognitive behavioral therapy, there is kinesiology, there is, you know, oh God, so many, and now I'm at a loss to think of them. But anyway, what I would say, two things that matter. One is, does it feel good to you? Does it feel right to you? Then that's the right one for you. Second thing is the person you're dealing with, do they feel good to you? Do they feel like they're the right person to help you on your healing journey? Because that's super important too. So I had somebody who said to me, every time I do breath work, I just get angry. And what I want to say about that is, hopefully you've got somebody who's going on that journey with you when that comes up. When we are doing healing practices, quite often, and even in traditional talk therapy, right, you're gonna come across uncomfortable emotions. And if you are presenting with anger, you want to ask yourself why. So hopefully you've got somebody who's working through that with you. But really, really helpful. If you come across an emotion that you feel uncomfortable with, that's actually a great thing. That just means that it's ready to be healed. So if you come across some anger, some despair, some guilt, some shame, some fear, if you can push through that, and if you can be brave enough to work with that and get through that and transmute that, change that energy, deal with it, and then change it, and recognize why it's there, then you can heal it. So that's the beautiful thing. If you're being presented with some weird emotion, that's what I would say is, that's why. It doesn't mean it's the wrong therapy for you. It doesn't mean that it just means that you've got stuff that's coming up that's there to be dealt with, which is actually a fantastic thing. And the other thing is that I want to empower people. So if you are seeing somebody and it's not working for you, you're allowed to have a conversation prior. So I know a lot of people say to me, oh, I went to this therapist and they were really terrible and I didn't relate to them at all. And I say, well, why didn't you talk to them first? Did you have a conversation first? And they're like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Absolutely, you can do that. You can talk to whoever it is that you're going to see before you see them, and just have a good conversation. If they're not open to a conversation, I'd kind of be wondering why, but have a conversation, just so you can figure out, are they the right therapist with you? Don't try and get a free session out of them, but just 5 minutes, you'll know if they're kind of, saying what resonates with you, and if you think that they would work. If they are, if after the session you feel like they're not the right person, move on. Just move on. It's fine. Take from it whatever value you can get from it, and then move on. Go on to somebody else. Like, that's completely fine as well. Just feel empowered that you don't have to stick with it, and you don't have to be so if it's not working for you, if that person's not right for you, if that particular therapy you realize is not right for you, that's okay. Just move on. Don't feel like you have to continuously stick in there with that one type of therapy if it's not working for you. So I really hope that's been helpful. I love your questions, so feel free to keep asking them, and I will do my best to keep answering them. Big loves.